Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby and welcome to World of Spaceships. Yes, that's right. I thought April Fools was a couple of weeks ago, guys. It's clearly not when it comes to World of Warships. There's a fantastic and hilarious game mode that's only available for this weekend. And as this is Sunday, when this video is going to be going up, there's only going to be a few more hours left of it. So, if you are in the closed beta, I thoroughly recommend going and checking it out if you haven't already. And for all of you lovely people out there who are not lucky enough to be in the closed beta, you get to see what all the fuss is about. So there was a rather large update several days ago, and we noticed on the Thursday livestream that I do with Jingles and with Ike, that as we were loading into the game, there was a new battle tier at the bottom, XXX. Well, now we certainly know what all that was about. It is the spaceships that they put into the game, each modelled after one of the current Tier 10 ships. Here we have the Galaxy, which I guess is modelled after the Tier 10 American cruiser, which is called the Des Moines. Wargaming have changed the paint job, so to say, and embellished it. Check out these designs on the back. Got some stabilization thrusters there. It looks like somebody has had a lot of fun re-rendering this model. Next, we have the Enterprise, which is spelt differently to the Starship Enterprise. I'm not sure if they're trying to avoid some kind of copyright claim there. Which is an aircraft carrier, or should we call a spaceship carrier. Check out all of those fighters, bombers on the back of this machine. And also, it looks like the Essex, the Tier 10 American aircraft carrier, is also now a ship carrier as well. Next we have the Firefly, which is modelled after the Tier 10 American destroyer. The gearing, this thing has fearsome guns for a destroyer, and its torpedoes are absolutely devastating across the galaxy. I love what they've done with the model here. They've clearly taken the gearing when it is broken in half in combat, and then, I don't know, put some kind of connector or warp drive or thruster in the middle. Then we have the Zaya, which is modelled after the Tier 10 Japanese cruiser, the Senjo, and wow, check out these markings on the back. Wargaming have really gone to town on this one. This is a bit like the Galaxy, has excellent rapid-fire guns. However, it also has a torpedo salvo that is capable of dishing out some punishment in close quarters combat. And finally, one of the most impressive vessels that you will ever see. It's simply called the Yamato. They haven't changed the name of this one, but by golly have they put on some gigantic thrusters on the back. This Tier 10 Japanese battleship is a hell of a beast, irrelevant if it's on the water or if it's in space. And talking about space, let's just take a look at some gameplay. Yes, Wargaming truly went all out with this fun game mode. You can see some decaying planets, some gigantic, I guess we're in the middle of an asteroid field. Some asteroids that are blocking off the center of the map, which does give you some cover if you so want that. Some kind of cold sun over there. Another decaying planet. Ice planet there. I love the blue and the red. So this is the Firefly. It is the gearing, the Tier 10 American destroyer. And one thing that I quickly realized about this ship is that its guns are fantastic. And also, one thing you'll also notice in this replay is that this isn't live. I'm not doing this live. I'm not doing a voiceover. Thank goodness Wargaming have finally fully implemented a working replay system into it. So that allows me to do post-game commentary and to critique the mistakes that I made, maybe highlight some of the good things that I did. So, destroyer gameplay. We can see that this is still a domination game mode. There are 3 bases to take. I'm going to start with A. There's another destroyer against me there, another Firefly, and we're trying to get some shots on him, but it's very tricky. I'm trying to preempt where he's going to go. At 8 kilometers, considering how fast he is, we have to give quite a lot of lead. Finally, we find our mark, doing 782 damage with him. I'm firing AP at him at the moment. I guess if I was to fire HE, I might be able to do some module damage to him. Maybe, you know, take out his engine, damage his propulsion, his rudder at the back, but these AP shells are actually doing a healthy amount of damage, and he's barely been able to touch me yet. Also, we have made it into the cap circle, and so we're starting to apply pressure on this domination game mode. As he turns away from me, I finally find my mark and start landing shot after shot after shot. I stop just at the edge of the cap circle and I use my smoke. If I stop firing and I jettison smoke out my ship, that'll mean that I'm no longer able to be detected by the enemy team. And one of the important things when you're capping is to not get hit, because it resets the cap timer. So it looks like we're finally going to take the A cap. And if you want to win these domination games, then really you do need to put pressure on the cap circle. Here I fire a load of torpedoes off at the cruiser that's coming in, that Galaxy. And start to take some evasive maneuvers very shortly to get out of trouble. Are we going to hit the Galaxy? We fire some shots off at him. Yes! We hit him once, we forced him to turn in. And now we start to unload on him. One thing I'm quickly realizing is that this Tier 10 American destroyer, the Gearing, aka the Firefly in this space game mode, has some simply devastating guns and fantastic mobility. And if you can use your torpedoes to force people into certain positions, then you can rip them apart with your guns. We've taken out his main gun there, so he won't be able to damage us. And a huge salvo from what looked like a battleship or a cruiser puts him to the bottom of the ocean. No, not quite. I don't know. Sends him off into the void and the vastness of space. Yeah, that sounds a bit more correct. As we can see there, a cruiser sinking down to his watery grave. No, not watery grave. Icy cold space tomb? Eternal void? Yes, we're not going to go there anymore. So, we're trying to take some shots at the Galaxy here. The Gearing, aka the Firefly's range is not bad at all. I'm giving far too much lead there. For some reason, the Galaxy doesn't seem to be going full speed. And I keep thinking, well, he's got to start accelerating sooner or later, hasn't he? And now my shots start to land. One thing I will say about this game mode is that it was absolutely fantastic for a few reasons. One, I got to try out lots of Tier 10 ships that I hadn't played since the alpha. And we're talking about, gosh, must be about nearly 6 to 9 months ago that I last played some of these ships. And so it does give you a feel for whether you're going to be able to, well, whether you will enjoy them or not. And personally, I found that I really want this Gearing, this Tier 10 American destroyer is so fun. Finally, it gets torpedo range. And it has guns to punish your targets to boot. We set up a chain of 69 hits in a row there. Now let's see if we can put some torpedoes into this Yamato. I fired 2 in front and 2 slightly behind. Well, the second salvo slightly behind. Now, the reason why I do this is because quite often what battleships will do when they see torpedoes, and this is really what everyone does at the moment, is as soon as they see the first set of torpedoes, they turn into them. And so if you fire the second set, slightly behind, generally you make some good hits. We hit 2 torpedoes there on the Yamato, causing flooding as well, which will slowly drain his health away. So there's 2 ways of kind of taking continued damage in World of Warships. There's fire, you can get set on fire, generally caused by high explosive ammunition. And then there's flooding. If you get hit by a torpedo, I guess it causes holes in your ship. And in space, that's not a very good thing at all. So that means that your ship continuously loses health until you send an emergency crew to go and fix it. This Yamato has sailed or driven. I think you drive in space. I don't know what you do in space. Very poorly, and he's on the edge of the map now, and he's stuck. And we just get to go to town on him with our guns. 48 hits. 53 hits. I love the way you can chain up ridiculous multipliers here. 60 hits in a row on that poor tier 10 Japanese battleship. So just talking about what happened earlier on, we were able. Did you see that destroyer versus destroyer gameplay right at the beginning when we were taking the A cap? It's so important to land your shots because as soon as he turned away from me, I know that I have the main advantage because I've got 3 turrets firing at him, and he can only have 1 firing at me as he goes away from me. I elect to not fire at the Galaxy. Why? Because that's a cruiser. If I fire, I'm going to give away my position. So instead, I fire torps at him. I fire 3 where he's going to be, and then, well, I fire... Sorry. There's 5 torpedoes from each of these salvos. I fire the first set at him, and then the second set behind him. But unfortunately for me, this Galaxy turns away from me and picks up speed. And that means that my torpedoes are just going to go behind him. Finally, we hit a citadel. 4,472 damage there with our AP shells. Finding their mark on the Galaxy, which is the Des Moines. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. The tier 10 American cruiser. Now, if that Galaxy turns around and puts a salvo at me, I'm pretty much dead. So I need to keep trying to make a movement like a serpent. Left, right, forwards, changing my speeds, accelerating. Because if those shells hit me, oh, that was close. I am very dead. Oh, close. So these are the kind of evasive maneuvers that we're taking. I'm not going to show you what we're shooting at right now. You have to change the way that you're going. Accelerating, slowing, making yourself an unobvious target to keep yourself alive. Now we're focusing on the tier 10 Japanese cruiser, Zaya. And Zaya's guns aren't as fearsome as that of the tier 10 American cruiser. They're still able to kick a lot of butt. Plus that Zaya will murder me if he gets into close quarters combat with his torpedoes. So we're just waiting for our torpedoes to reload. And here we go. Let's fire them off. And we're going to try and force the Zaya into the, what do you want to call it, the giant asteroid in the center. But hopefully, a combination of the battleship and the cruiser over there and myself can take him out. So we're not aiming very well here at all, but looks like somebody else did. Puts in a huge shot into him. That was bad Tekken, I think. Well, somebody put a huge shot into him. And luckily for us, his hit did not kill me, and I'm left with 1,000 hit points. And now we can go to town on this Yamato instead. While this is going on, however, those torpedoes that I fired a while ago are still going. The torpedo range on this ship, the Firefly, is absolutely huge. Look, they're still going. I think the torpedo range is like 16 kilometers. Don't quote me on that. Are they going to hit? Just waiting for it. There we go. We hit someone. Set them on fire. Hit 2. Set them on fire. Looks like, considering the Galaxy is still on full health, that we must have hit the Enterprise. The aircraft carrier on the enemy team. So fortunately for me, the replay system does have a speed up option. So we can accelerate here through the monotonous bits. got new torpedoes ready, but that was the end of the game. So this resulted in a gigantic game for us. We made over 250,000 credits and got 5,397 experience, hitting 224 targets, 5 torpedo hits, 3 critical damages. We set 3 targets on fire. Each of our torpedo hits, as they were massive, caused flooding. We even once hit a citadel with our AP rounds on that cruiser. One of the best things about this game mode as well is these 250,000 credits you can use in the closed beta at the moment. I used the money that I made from this event to buy a Cleveland, which I have thoroughly enjoyed playing, and it fills me again with confidence that I've made the right choice by going down the American cruiser line. So that was World of Spaceships. It was absolutely fantastic fun for the several hours that I played it on live stream, and props to Wargaming for finding time during the development of the game to be able to put in such a fun game mode and also to test the engine and show what they're capable of doing. I really look forward to seeing how far they can take World of Warships, especially when it's released, and maybe next April Fools we'll see something even more spectacular than this. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving it a like down below. It really helps the channel out. And let me know in the comments down below what you think about World of Spaceships. Did you play it? Did you enjoy it? Do you think it's a big waste of time? Do you agree with me that it was a fantastic way to see all of the tier 10, the end game ships, and also to practice your aim? And if you guys are frustrated by the fact that you can't play World of Spaceships, then why not come by my live stream tonight, where I'll be giving away 10 codes to enable you to enter the World of Warships closed beta. So hopefully I'll see you tonight, and as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.